It was a big year for the housing market, with the sales reaching the highest in about 15 years and prices for residential homes surging by double digits. Let's talk about the year that was and the outlook for 2022 with James Weichert Jr. He's co-chairman of the Weichert Companies, one of the biggest real estate companies in the U.S. James, thanks for joining us. So, as we saw this big year, what do you think for you and your business? What was really the standout to you? Was it just that there continued to be very strong demand? Was it the increase in prices? Was it all of the above? What was sort of the highlight for you?
Good morning, Julie. Well, we've been owned and family run and operated for over 50 years, so we've seen our share of market cycles. This is particularly a unique one, given the pandemic and the surge in the demand from the millennials to start families and own a home, and the baby boom generation, downsizing or relocating for their golden years, as well as the work from home trends, creating a surge of relocation opportunities. So you have an influx of factors, and I think that the biggest concern and takeaway from 2021 was the lack of inventory. So you have a highly competitive market, and real estate transactions, as you may have experienced, are inherently hectic experiences. So between those two factors, it's been a very busy market, high stress, and in response to that, what we've, as a company, have done, Weichert has introduced an on-time closing guarantee to take the stress and out of the transactions for both buyers and sellers.
James, the red hot year we have seen in housing in 2021, is that in any way similar to what we saw in late 2008 or in 2008 in that run up to the crash?
Yeah, I'd say in the 05 to 07 period, that run up was really artificially generated by mortgage products and the likes of many banks that aren't here anymore. So this is an entirely different scenario. The credit standards for lending, as we have incredible insight into through our mortgage bank, are still very conservative, and where the demand's coming from is just the generational shifts, as well as historically low interest rates, not from synthetic mortgage products.
And folks like me who relocated during the pandemic, fueling some of that. Although in my case, it was last year, not this year. So the lack of supply that you're talking about, any glimmers of hope on the horizon on that front? I mean, we just got pending home sales this morning that were unexpectedly down. So do you see any change to the supply picture next year?
Well, inventory year over year is down about 12%. So that's our biggest concern going into 2022. However, as more sellers understand the value of homeowners understand the value of their homes have increased. The Case-Shiller just came out yesterday, 18% year over year increase in home prices. We see more homeowners being motivated to place their home on the market, which should alleviate the supply constraint. Home builders are trying to keep pace with the supply chain. In states where there's land is more plentiful and the government regulations are less stringent, you're seeing a lot more growth in housing supply. On the coast, that's a little more challenging.
So, James, what do you think is going to happen then on pricing? You cited that 18% increase in Case-Shiller. Are we going to see similar magnitude of gains in 2022?
We don't believe you'll see as great of magnitude in gains in 2022. However, affordability is becoming more and more of an issue as housing payments or rental payments are becoming a larger share of the household income. So as incomes and wages rise, as well as employment increases, more people get back to work, we'll probably see, continued increase in demand, which will increase the home prices slightly next year, but not entirely as well as they went up in 2021.
Admittedly, I'm glad I got in when I did. Although who knows
Yes,
who can
I'm
time
happy
the
for you,
housing
Julie.
market. James, thanks for being here. James Weichert Jr. is co-chairman of the Weichert Companies. Happy New Year to you.